at the Tether treasury, we always see this happening. When this happens, it basically correlates to money going into Bitcoin and some of the other altcoins like, Sol and ETH occasionally, but specifically Bitcoin, it pushes things up. So that's a massive amount. That's certainly a whale amount. And this was minted on the Tron network for whatever reason. Now, the actual cryptocurrency market state visualization, BTC has crossed it's over $70,000. So we'll see what it does from here. But this is very, very good. And Sol's still needing to get above like 180. Raul Poll, he mentioned this in a tweet, which I'm not going to show you, but he wants it to go past 180 before we kind of have a bit of confirmation that we start to go banana zone. ETH is up a little bit, which is good. It's finally started to perform at least somewhat. But just remember, overall, it's been a tragedy. Anyway, we're a little bit greedy, but not too greedy, but we're more greedy than what we were. And very, very important is we have to keep in mind, let me just find all of the resources here so I can give you everything. Essentially, what we've got here is a system where we're going to have price, employment things, all this macroeconomical stuff, data that's going to come out, and this is going to affect the macroeconomics. We have the war in the Middle East, or the conflict in the Middle East, I guess you could say, and on top of that, we've got job information coming up, as well as a few other things. So specifically, I've got a couple of notes here. We're waiting on all this information to come out regarding like price indexes and employment stuff. So it could be a little bit rocky, but I think we're still going to do pretty well. I know we're expecting decently up October, and we did okay if we were longing particular assets or accumulating more in spot like Sol and BTC. But in general, it wasn't like anything crazy. We still have 1 day left, of course, but we do have things which would make me not put on a long or a short. Anyway, more bullish news though. We've got Bitcoin here, the ETFs, the US spot Bitcoin ETF had a total of $870 million worth of inflows, and BlackRock's IBIT had $642 million. And this is absolutely massive. So institutions definitely coming in. Whales accumulating Bitcoin at their fastest ever pace. Institutional demand has never been higher, and it's now outpacing retail demand for BTC. And the Bitcoin exchange reserves have hit an all-time low. This means people are moving off, putting into cold storage or multi-sigs, all that sort of stuff. Justin, $115 million worth of Bitcoin shorts liquidated in the past 24 hours. Seems a little bit scary to me, if like to have a short on. But if you're a trader, go for it. It's up to you. Now this is very, very key though, because China's getting involved with, I've got some more notes here, with a $1.4 trillion fiscal stimulus package. So we've got this here. There's a few other docs which we linked as well, one from Reuters. China plans a 10 trillion yuan stimulus package over the next few years. 6 trillion yuan will be raised through special bonds to manage local government debt. Up to 4 trillion yuan in special purpose bonds will target land and property purchases. An additional 1 trillion yuan will support consumption, and another 1 trillion will boost state banks. The total package equals over 8% of the GDP, but is still smaller than the 2008 stimulus, which could mean that we're going to get even more stuff coming. This is just going to be 1.4, and then it's going to be another 2, and then it's going to be another 5. Who knows? Visa's partnered with Coinbase to enhance real-time crypto transactions for customers in the US and EU. This is just more kind of mainstream adoption, which is good. And the top performing sectors year to date in crypto, we are looking at, let me hide myself for a second. Oh no, we don't need to hide myself. We're looking at basic memes, of course, AI, real world assets, and Deepin. And the reason why I wanted to point a few small things out, governance tokens, I've mentioned they're boring and they haven't done well as a category. Layer 2s have not done very well, just, ETH and its 15 kind of clones, that difficulty is not having It's not working terribly well. Metaverse, ZK Tech, and SocialFi. SocialFi has done very, very poorly. So if you've got some skills in memes, cool. But if not, a bit of AI stuff, a little bit deep in real world assets, you could do well over there. Consensus is a literal Ethereum giant, and they're cutting the workforce by 20%, which is kind of crazy because we are in this bull cycle. Consensus owns or is like the majority owner of MetaMask, and they do a lot of stimulating in the Ethereum ecosystem. So this is kind of crazy to see. Joseph Lupin is co-founder of Ethereum, founder of Consensus, and worth billions, hundreds of millions, if not billions. This decision impacts 20% of Consensus' total workforce. We are deeply grateful for their contributions and getting Consensus to where it is today, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's just a little bit of the summary. Also saw, I'm not going to reference here, but DYDX, which is like an on-chain perps protocol, which launched on Ethereum. Then it moved to its own app chain on Cosmos. I think they're also letting go around 20% of their workforce as well. So one important thing is stay pretty lean. If you're a founder growing something, try and stay as lean as you can until you've got massive runway. TestMe is live. It went live yesterday, and test this out and see how the claim experience is. Maybe you've got some feedback for them. Excuse me. Okay. You come to the website, testme.mefoundation.com, find the official link from Magic Eden itself, and go give this a go. And the token has no value, but you can trade if you want. You can put it into a liquidity pool, have a bit of fun with this free kind of experience. But the volume's nothing crazy. What are we looking at in the last kind of 1 hour? $3,800 in volume. So if you're LPing this, you're not going to do terribly well, but there's only 50K worth of liquidity. So you might be okay. To the calendar, always check out the calendar. There's plenty of things here. There's one thing here that I haven't put on the calendar, but that's the fact that the Dupe live stream is happening at 3:30 p.m. UTC after this. That's why we've moved this to 3 p.m. UTC today. Now, this we need to do more research into. So Tyler and another researcher, Will, this relates to SolayerLabs. The fact that it's been tweeted out by Solana's main page has put it on our radar, but I don't have any good information to really give you other than, play a little bit. So welcome SUSD, a US Treasury bill backed stablecoin on Solana by SolayerLabs. Key launch details: Epoch 5 officially opens today for SUSD Mint, $20 million cap, first 10K deposit earns 10x boost and additional Open Eden dual boost. This is just one of those examples of when they explain things, but it's hard to understand what they're even saying. And it's like first 10K, $10,000. Is that all that gets the boost? I don't know, but it's opened an hour ago. Give it a little bit of a go if you can. We can't be as early as we want to be with this because we don't have enough explaining information. Kamino has just surpassed $2.5 billion in total assets supplied into Kamino Lend, which is epic. This Kamino is where the party's at. And of course, I'm very happy if other, Save, they do well, if MarginFi does well. But Kamino's clearly got the playbook, which is working well. So this is where I use. And there's no referral system, so you can just go to Kamino.Finance. No need to do that. The Jupiter quorum vote has included. I was just voting straight for increase to 120 mil Jupe. This is a better way, pegged to 30% of stake Jupe, and I'm pleased that kind of played out, but either way, this is good. There's some new creator bounties on Super Team Earn if you've got the skills to pay the bills with a product demo video. First prize 700 Jupe, like $700. That's decent, and it's open for 9 days. In my opinion, only do this if you're putting in a little bit of effort. Actually, do it regardless. You always get better at things. That's the way to do things. The planetary call will be going live at 3:30, but here, this is what they'll be talking about. Products and DAOs, several wins of the week, and hear from Siong. I think I just messed up his pronunciation. Siong? I think that's how it's done. It's just a bit of a mind blank. We'll be sharing 5 big lessons from user feedback over the last few years. Slog will be on about the grant system. Remember, like, Jupiter's going to explode. I'm confident of that. If you're going to make content, or if you're going to add value, you can potentially get a grant to help you out there. And then a few other things, as well as chatting with Fabiano Solana, a master threader. DVY Launch is nearly here. So the launch is actually now live. The Alpha Vault is currently it's open at 1 p.m. UTC. So if you're keen to get into this, if this aligns with what you're wanting, I'm not getting into the Alpha Vault or anything, but you can. Otherwise, you can go and claim the DVY tokens. And check your wallets at checker.bonk.live. BONK'd, this is not affiliated with BONK, but I believe it's being followed by not too many people, but I think it was being followed by Cadence and Nom. So just to let you know, game number 1 is in the books. All winners have received their prizes and have burned 600,000 bonk, and the next game begins. So this is the winner. So the next game begins today. And reminder, while we are in the bonked phase, don't want to compete for the top prize. Remember, we just deposit $1 worth of bonk in the basket, and then you go into a raffle. That's kind of more of the alpha, in my opinion. Orca is now live on Eclipse Foundation mainnet. Explore liquidity swap tokens, create pools, and more using, well, it just says backpack as part of this release. Orca's UI could definitely do with a UI and UX, definitely needs to be improved. But you're doing this if you want to maybe have a little bit of fun in the airdrop potential game. Arcium, you've got not very long, 1 day to mint this NFT, get amongst it, and go and do Start Fortress 4. Let's go through some actionables, and then let's get you ready for the dupe call today. So, watch planetary chip call, claim the power up. You got to be fast at the end. DCA Sol and dupe, and stake with validate.com. Claim your test ME. Maybe you want to LP it just for fun and giggles. If you pre-order the Solana Seeker, you can mint the Sneakerhead NFT at 5 p.m. UTC. I won't be in the house at that time, but you can if you're keen. And airdrop actionables, check your DVY allocation, go and grab that, mint the final Arcium NFT, play Bull Run on Infinex, use Eclipse mainnet, and if you want to get in early today, mint Solayer's SUSD. Haven't played with it, so I can't say if it's any good, but you can have a look. Let's have a quick look and see what we got, like 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll go through a couple of questions and answers. Firstly, to those that join every day, like Nick, you're a legend. Machine King as well, appreciate it, but appreciate everyone that's watching these. FDUSD coming to Solana. Don't know what that is. But as long as it's like, really reputable and backed, I think that's kind of, then I'm okay to check it out. Otherwise, you got to be really, really mindful of the fact that, let me just show you as an example. There's things that lose their peg, and this is why it's a little bit scary. So I've only just heard of this, but a friend used it, putting like, a decent amount of money into it, and it lost its peg, and lost its peg again. And this is, I've never even heard of it. This is last year. So FDUSD, not loading, so I don't know what it is. First Digital. Just, I would like, I'm not, there's no FUD here or anything, but just make sure that it's properly backed. Otherwise, it's a bit scary. Even like Hubble's USD, which, this is not Hubble's USD. Sorry, it's USDH. I mean, I don't know what this is, and I don't know if this ever lost its peg. Probably did, by the looks of things. Yeah. This is where, like, just, USDT, USDC, PYUSDC, kind of the safest thing. this is not too bad. This is pretty much at where its peg is, but it has depegged, as you can see, from time to time down, 8 cents. And this is kind of a better one. Have I collected any planetary call NFTs? Yeah, sometimes, but I don't like actively go for it. What you have to do at the end is you have to either connect your Discord or your Twitter. Twitter has an API issue, so go with your Discord. You have to put in your wallet address that has at least 50 state dupe, and then you get that POAP. Now, big thing is with these POAPs, people are thinking they have to, they're getting them for the speculation value that if they hold a certain number, they'll get extra dupe and dupenery. There's no confirmation of this. They're just like in a collectible. Someone could reward you, but who knows how it goes. FD is Binance USD. Okay, well, that's interesting because they had BUSD. Then they stopped using BUSD because of, like, they were told, and it was minted via Paxos, and they were told by regulators. So unsure about this until I see a bit more confirmation. No, you don't have to be worried about Phantom Wallet or Solflare Wallet, whatever, of getting a tiny bit of Sol deposit. They're normally like, what they do here is they do this, and they may send like a scam NFT or whatever, or they'll have a like domain like free prizes.sol or whatever, and that you'll see that in the transaction history on SolScan, and people will click on that link, and that's where they can get scammed. If you're bullish for Divi, cool. I don't have enough information on it, but I'll happily do a podcast with them. Do I honestly think the dupe POAPs will be worth holding for the next January? No, I don't know. Like, we have no information on like what you need to do. I think if you use dupe, but then of course, in some ways, if you're actually attending these things, that could be very, Meow would probably reward that. So maybe, but like, I'm pleased that I don't know. I don't want to front run anything. I don't want to have, us front run anything. So like, tag me on Twitter regarding this, and we can have a look. And you can tag me on Twitter regarding the information on this as well. Cool. All right. Thanks very much for joining in. Enjoy the Jupiter planetary call, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Cheers.